show.
You are rotted for that.
All your successes.
That was so sneaky. No, I didn't even clock that. Oh.
So, story time. I recently found out that I was paying for a streaming service that I was no longer using. We started a free trial because we wanted to binge a certain show and forgot to cancel it. Thus, going about 6 months paying for a streaming service that we never used again. And I know that a lot of you guys out there either have done that or are currently doing that without realizing it. Well, today's sponsor, Rocket Money, is here to help. Rocket Money is a personal finance app that helps you cancel subscriptions, lower bills, and manage your money better. As I said, I'm currently using Rocket Money to help find and cancel subscriptions. Though I should be transparent, that story I told you earlier was actually a lie. I was actually paying for 2 streaming services that I wasn't using. But luckily, Rocket Money safely and securely identifies recurring charges and cancels unwanted subscriptions for you. You can even cancel them from within the app with just a couple taps, without having to navigate some services' confusing websites, or even worse, talking with a customer service representative. And I'm using Rocket Money to lower my bills. As you probably know by now, a little over a year ago I moved, and with the change of scenery also comes a change of bills. And some of those bills are not cute. But by simply uploading a photo of your bill and tapping a few buttons, Rocket Money will negotiate your bills for you. From internet service to cable to phone bills and more. Sometimes even getting you a refund on overdraft and late fees. Rocket Money has helped save customers up to $740 per year, with over $500 million in canceled subscriptions, half of those being mine. To save more and spend less, join the over 5 million members using Rocket Money today. Go to rocketmoney.com/Maddie or click the link in the description to get started for free. You can also unlock even more features with premium. That's rocketmoney.com/Maddie to get started for free. And now, on to the video.
Hi guys, welcome back to Give It To Me Straight. I'm your host and award-winning designer, Maddie Morphosis. And joining me on the show today is fellow seamstress, the one and only Season 16's Q.
Hello, don't associate yourself with my craft.
What do you mean?
With my talent.
What?
Stay in your lane.
Don't associate yourself with drag. You're not even wearing right now. Don't come for
Baby,
me.
and what do you're wearing baked potatoes.
Don't worry about it.
And your bra, baked potatoes.
This feels like body shaming.
Well, I mean,
How we're starting it off. You came all the way out here. You came all the way from Kansas City just for this show, and you're gonna act like this?
You're my Midwest sister. I have to treat you like I would, back home.
Mm-hmm. And that's why you don't have a lot of sisters.
Well,
Yeah. But you are here today. Did you make this outfit?
No, my drag mom actually made this one.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Little family. Did she make most of your outfits?
So
someone told me that she made your entire package.
Oh,
so.
No, not quite.
Okay.
Unfortunately, you made your entire package.
I didn't. I just made the stuff that you saw, but all the good stuff that other people made, I got sent home to soon
there
to
was
show.
good stuff?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
This was one of them.
Wow. But yeah, she made about half my package, and I made about the other half, but she made this tonight.
The 50-50 blend.
Yeah.
So you're coming for me right now when I'm at like the peak. The fan base likes me. You already missed the boat. You should have been coming for me in like 2020.
No, it's fine. I just have to treat you. When I read people's with love, it's endearing.
Mm-hmm.
It's a little. At least I like to say so.
Right. And you think it's like loving and endearing and kind, and then you look back and it's like very plain Jane, and it's just.
No, I wouldn't go that far. I wouldn't go as far as plain Jane. No, she is the.
Yeah, well, but she does it out of kindness and love.
Yeah,
and compassion.
I understand her. I have grown to understand where she comes from, but she's a. She is.
Yeah, you are, but I get it.
I like you.
I get it.
I get it. I get your thing. I get your stick.
Uh-huh. I feel like referring to you as a seamstress isn't giving you the flowers you deserve, as it were, because you actually are an award-winning designer yourself. Because prior to Drag Race, you actually won an award for costume design at the Kennedy Center American College Theater Festival.
Oh my God! Yes.
Yeah, it was for Rhinoceros, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Oh my gosh, you're going back into the archives.
Yeah. That's what the show's all about.
Get down to the bottom of it.
The other interviews, they'll ask you about like when you were lip syncing, what goes through your head. But here on this show, I'm like, so tell me about your childhood trauma. Yeah. That's what really interests me.
What's going through my head is like, don't look at my legs. Don't look at what my legs and feet and hands are doing. Actually, just look here and then just pretend me doing something entertaining.
Right. What got you into like design itself though? Because a lot of queens, they become drag queens and then they find design for drag basically, but you were doing design way before that. Like what business did a little boy in Kansas City have behind the sewing machine?
I don't know. I feel like growing up from my background of like not having so much, it just made me like super resourceful and creative. And, that creativity, I've always liked making things with my hands. So, it just kind of lent itself to that. And I went to college actually for theater design and theater performance. So I did like a performance and design, like dual degree.
Yeah.
But, yeah, it just stuck. And then my drag mom is the one who actually taught me how to sew. I like barely learned.
Yeah.
I barely learned anything about sewing in college.
I saw an interview where you said that like you learned most of the stuff from like your drag mom, but like you said you were like award-winning designer in college. So like what tricks did you learn from your drag mom that you didn't learn like in school for it?
Well, it's so weird because when you're going to school for like theater design, you have like a costume shop that like you're just doing the renderings and like making the decisions, but somebody else is like making all this stuff for you. But that's not. Oftentimes, that's not how it works in the real world. Like you have to be your own costume shop, so you have to have those like technical, practical skills, which not every program teaches you, obviously.
But like with like going through school and like that, going through theater design, theater performance. In light of everything that's transpired recently, do you wish that you took like one less sewing class and one more dance class like at school? Like just to tip the scale a little bit?
Shut the up. You think I went on a drag race and thinking I could dance?
No,
You
but I'm
think
saying
I
like
went on
I'm saying in hindsight.
No. I say focus on what you're good at, and that's what's gotten me here today is focusing on my strengths. And, I don't need to be bucking, dancing down to, be entertaining, whether it's entertaining for the right or wrong reasons.
He was like, I just want to be an avant-garde crazy mannequin. That's my drag, and that's valid.
Literally, right? Thank you.
You're like, you're gonna be known for the drag queen with the most fabric on their body.
I'm gonna take up space. If there's one thing about me, I'm just gonna take up space.
Yeah,
that's my talent. Thank you.
Yeah. So did you get into design just for theater, or were you like sewing stuff like back at home before that?
I was always like creative. Like my grandma was always like really creative with me, and like I've done theater since I was like little. So like I've always just been in that space, and then I just kind of got more into it as like I went through college and then started drag. I would say like just like fashion and looks and like creating things like that came even more like as I started doing drag and you know kind of was figuring myself out.
Yeah, with me, we have like there's a lot of overlap between like our experiences. Like we're both from very, very small towns. We both are balding, irrelevant. Both got on drag. We both like more like effeminate than most people.
You're talking about because this is my real hair.
Oh, okay.
I just snatched this up earlier. If you remove this wig, actually there's follicles. You can feel the texture.
It's like the Charlie Brown head.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got the squiggles.
Welcome to the stage, Rosita hairline.
Okay. Wait till I get my hair transplant. It's gonna be over for you hoes.
That's valid too. But I'm just saying, but like you're also like you're doing like Pee Wee sports and stuff like that. But like I'm assuming at one point you transitioned into doing like home ec and stuff. It was actually like I was in Pee Wee sports, football, like up to like 7th grade, and then whenever people were taking it seriously and the guys are screaming at each other and throwing helmets, I'm like, this isn't fun. I'd rather go to home ec and just like make pillows and jam and stuff like that.
No, literally, because I did sports probably up until high school because there wasn't really any like theater, like there wasn't anything like that. So I was like, F it, I guess I'll just do sports.
Yeah.
Like, and I wrestled. I was a wrestler. I was a wrestler for a little bit. And it was terrible and not gay at all, like you think it would be,
No, like this isn't even fun.
It's not even. It's I thought it might be a little fun, but it definitely was not.
We're gonna work our way back up to college, but I want to take it back for a second, back to like little Robbie, like a young kid, little Kansas. Back whenever you had hair, like what was it like for you growing up in Kansas?
Stop.
We had the overlap. We had the same hair back when we did, but
you had no business being on my Facebook. I know that's only on Facebook.
So, like, take us back. Like, who were you as a kid? Like teen years, high school, middle school, like, very that, yeah.
Raw XD. I can't believe you did this to me. I had a lot of hair.
I know.
I had the Bieber swoopty, like a lot of hair. But then that widow's peak kept peeking.
And you're in denial. You're just like, oh no, I just have a high hairline.
Let me just swoop this over a little bit more. Then one day I was like, you know what? It. I am a bald.
Yeah. But outside of the balding and, outside of hair follicles, like, what were you like as a kid? Like, who were you? Like, because obviously you said you didn't get really into theater until like a little bit later and stuff. So like, what was this little blob of a human being in Kansas?
Oh, I mean, I feel like mostly it was just like me trying to figure myself out most of like growing up. It's like trying to like find the space where I felt like, I was comfortable and existed, and trying to feel good about myself as like being queer and being effeminate. And
how did people treat you like in your town? Because like I said, you were in a small town, only like 20,000 people or so, and it's in Kansas, so obviously probably not the most progressive.
Yeah, it wasn't like too bad. I don't want to say like I had it the hardest. I definitely wasn't like bullied so hardcore, like, you're the gay movies where it's like this gay kid was thrown in the toilet. It wasn't like that, but I would say like I definitely got some bullying before I came out. Once I like came out, I feel like it took away like all power from anybody who had anything to say ever.
So it's just like years of people telling you that you're gay, and then finally you say you are, and it's just like, like nothing can harm me.
Well, shit.
Yeah.
Well, that was our thing that we were using.
Yeah. Like, when did you come out though?
I came out like kind of like in stages. So like I would say like my freshman, sophomore year, I came out to like my first one of my friends like for the first time. But I would say I was like pretty openly out by like my junior year of high school.
Yeah, it's like you said, you were very effeminate. I'm assuming you were like from a very young age, like, because like you said, you were in sports. But despite that, I feel like the writing was always on the wall regarding your sexuality. So like, were the signs always there? It's like you.
She's like, let's play this baseball.
Again, more sports that you were playing.
See, I was bald then. I had to circle back.
It's true. You returned to your roots.
Yeah, I remembered how fierce I was.
You were this little bald gay kid, and then you came like this straight passing semi teenager, and then you went back to your roots.
Yeah. This is so funny because, I was such a character during this time. I would like button my like I would wear button up shirts and like button it all the way up to the top, and like. I was like I would also like when I was little, I was like kind of like a clean freak, and I would like anytime I had to take a I would take all my clothes off to go to the bathroom. Like I was like afraid of like on myself or something. My mom would have to like go into the bathroom with me because she was like worried.
I don't know if that's like just being a clean freak or if like an incident happened. Like maybe you just have an explosive that you need to check.
On him.
You on everything. Like you just preemptively just take off all your clothes. You still do that to this day?
Oh, still to this day. I just my bathroom experiences are wild.
Were you like one of those kids that pulls their pants all the way down when they pee at the urinal?
Oh, I know. I wasn't like that.
Oh, okay.
I do remember those kids though.
Yeah.
But just out.
Yeah. But like being like a little effeminate kid, you said you're like bullied a little bit, but like you obviously didn't have a lot of resources. There wasn't a lot to do. You couldn't really find yourself. So like other than like, gravel bike races, like what is there for a kid to do in this small town?
Well, I mean, I started, my mom got me involved in theater when I was like in second grade.
Oh, so that's a lot earlier than I realized.
Yeah. So like I started doing like youth theater, traveling theater, and stuff like that. So I would do that like when it came around or when it was in season, and then I would do sports, but it didn't really take over until probably like around high school and college.
Mm-hmm. Like I said, your mom got you into theater, and she's obviously been like one of your biggest supporters. Like, was your dad involved at all?
So my dad passed away when I was like 3.
Oh, I didn't realize.
Yeah, no. So he had like some kind of like a heart heat stroke issue, and so it's like don't really get super sad about it because like I was not old enough to really know him. Mm-hmm. But it just like make me wonder like what it would have been like if I had like a fatherly.
Yeah, just kind of like a big question mark
Yeah,
in
yeah,
your
yeah,
life.
yeah. Would I still be super gay?
Mm-hmm.
Probably.
Probably so.
Probably.
Yeah, because I mean, like, 'cause if he was around, he probably would have pushed you into sports more, and you still would have been around.
Yeah,
you
then
still would have been just.
I would have been gayer.
Yeah.
The niece would have been like
Yeah.
here by
just
that
in
point.
knots.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. But with your mom, she was obviously very supportive of you, like putting you in theater, and she's always been there for your drag. She's always been supportive of like your sexuality and stuff as well.
Yeah, it was a little bit hard at first, I will say. Yeah, I don't think my mom kind of, not purposefully, I don't think she meant to, but like kind of forced me out a little bit to her. And it kind of like went a little bad, but like I definitely have taught her a lot as like growing up and being queer, and like since then like she's learned so much, and she has like so much guilt about how she like dealt with it, and at the end of the day she was just scared for me. So
Yeah.
I love my mom, and I know she has never wanted anything but the best for me.
Well, like you say, like you are like in a small town in Kansas. So
Yeah.
safety obviously is like a big issue.
Oh yeah.
Like how long was that period though of like kind of trial and error between?
It was just something, so after coming out, it was something that only got, I mean, it didn't get brought up too often because, like, I was, like, one of the few gay kids, and it's not like I was dating guys and bringing them home, so it only got brought up every once in a while. But, my mom, I've, like, taught her so much about just, like, what it is to be queer, and, like, taught her about, like, the community and, just life in general, because not a lot of my family has been outside of that small town. I'm one of the few that have left and done other things.
Was like your extended family, like uncles, cousins, things like that, like were they supportive of you as well, or was it kind of like just really just you and your mom against the world?
My family is like overall mostly supportive because it's me. I say that they like, some of them like overall love like just like the queerness and like the drag and like I don't know about that. But since it's me doing it, that they're supportive mostly.
Yeah.
There are some family members who have had questionable things to say for sure, but
wow. Have there been incidents? I'm like prying a lot in your family history, but like there've been like
it's fine. No, I mean, I talked about a little bit on the show, just about like my grandma, and like she's one of the ones that I was like really creative with growing up, and there was just this incident where, I saw her at one of my other grandparents' funerals, and like she said like this thing about like my drag, and like, sorry, I like don't really follow your stuff. I just, worry about basically like getting AIDS from like doing drag, which I'm like, first of all, you don't know, obviously don't know anything about like, HIV and AIDS, and it just was like so ignorant, and like it just like really kind of put a little divide in our relationship with each other, just because I've come to a point in my life where, I only surround myself with people who, love and support me and lift me up. And if you don't make me feel good, I love you, you're my grandma, but I'm not going to call you every day.
Yeah. That's what we're going to talk about.
Right.
Yeah. But it's obviously a huge difference between coming out as gay, coming out as a drag queen, and then being like, I'm now like openly gay and a drag queen on syndicated television.
Yeah.
Like, what is your family's response to everything that's happened over the past like year?
Oh, I mean, Drag Race. I mean, my family is like thrilled. My mom, like, when I called her and told her, she just like bawled and cried and cried. Like, she was like so thrilled.
How many times did you audition?
3. It was my 3rd time.
Third time? So your first audition was for my season? Or was it 15? It was 14, right?
I'm trying to think. So this was 16, 15, 14.
Yeah, so your first audition was for like my season. So have you gotten cast? Again, like we're gonna talk about it a little bit later, but our drag started around the same area, around the same time, a lot of overlap, and had you got the call, also would have been. But yeah, we'll talk more about that in a moment. But
and we could have a dance battle on season.
A dance battle?
Season 14.
I don't know about that. We're gonna do the Macarena.
What, baby?
It's a chop. It's gonna have to be like the cha-cha slide or something.
Something very white.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If they don't play it at a white wedding, like we're not.
Yeah. I can. If the song tells me what to do, let's do. We can do that. I can do that.
You said your mom put you in theater whenever you were in second grade. Was that like something you were interested in initially, or was it something where she said this might be a good outlet for you?
Well, I think it was half like I was doing sports, but I wasn't great at them. Yeah. And my mom could tell that I was like, I don't know, more artsy and a little bit effeminate. So I saw, what happened was I went to church and I saw like these kids do basically like a little play on like the plagues, like the, plagues. You know, what with like Prince of Egypt, like, you know what I'm talking about? The and I just thought it was like so cool, like see them like reenact all this stuff and like make it funny. And
that's the first time you said the word and
you're just like, right? I was like that.
You're like, what am I doing?
Okay, Jesus, plague their ass. Get their asses with them toads.
Said the boils sick them.
Roast them.
Yeah.
No, but she saw that I liked that and then just kind of looked it up and got me involved in it, and you know, the rest is history.
Yeah, like I said, you hit the ground running hard because like you were super involved in theater. You were even the president of your high school's like theater club, right?
Yes.
What is it? The Thespians Club?
Oh yeah,
Group 6688.
Yeah. Wow. You are researching. You're going back.
Yeah, you said I feel like you're nervously like touching the chair right now.
Like, what else did you find? I feel like you went back into the albums of like the galleries in my Facebook, because I don't post like in boy that often, but you're going back into my boy life.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, sleuth. That's what you do. Is that what you spend all your time on?
Yes, that's why
detective work.
That's why this show is remotely successful, is because it finds out more stuff.
Remotely.
Yes. Yeah. But it was through theater that you actually found drag. Like, what was your first time in drag in theater? Like, was it for La Cage aux Folles, or was it earlier than that?
La Cage aux Folles, that was the summer after I graduated from college. Mm-hmm. So I first started, my first like really drag thing in college theater was I like applied for this like research grant. Mm-hmm. Basically, I just like wanted them to give me money to start drag. Right. But you had to like do like a research thing, and so I did like devising drag in like a theater setting, and my friends and we wrote this like little one-act musical, and we put it on, and that was like my first time in drag, and it was like the first time I was like, oh, bitch, like this is what I have to be doing, because I feel like most of the time like in theater, like in like at least in performance roles, I was always kind of put in the background because, you know, I'm not exactly a heterosexual leading man. So, and there aren't a lot of like, there aren't a lot of parts that like, you know, type fit me.
Yeah, and like theater is a hard place for, you know, queer men to break into, so.
Well, yeah, I'll at least in the chorus. Shut the
But like that little like play that you did, was that before or after you were in Rocky Horror?
That was, I think it was after, because Rocky Horror, I think I did my sophomore year of college.
Okay, so with that means that like Rocky Horror is probably your first time in drag then, because at the conclusion,
drag.
I mean, yeah, that's
cross-dressing, mama.
Yeah, I mean, like you got, you know, probably like a little bit of makeup. You got the corset. You got the little heels. So I mean,
yeah, I do have that Rocky Horror.
Yeah, that's drag.
A full head of hair. Blonde, just gorgeous. Yeah. Oh my god!
I mean, the Wikipedia page can say what it says, but in my mind, that is your first time in drag.
Okay. No. I mean, I guess there was. I guess if we're counting just like dress up, I was. We talked about on the show. My mom and would dress me up as this little girl called Julie, and we would like trick my cousins into thinking they had like another family member. And my mom would like carry me down in her arms with like my head in her chest and be like, "Oh, Julie can't talk right now. She's sick." And then like take me back upstairs and like we'd like trick my cousins.
So Julie was the OG drag name.
Yeah, no, for sure. Julie was the OG girl.
Yeah. Julie was the girl that was in you all along.
Oh, that's well. A girl has never been in me, but
I'm not a girl, or vice versa.
oh no, I'm a what do they call it? A
Gold star.
gold star gay,
Yeah.
I guess. I don't know.
Yeah. But doing drag in theater is obviously very different from doing drag like in nightclubs and stuff. When did you make the shift from the theater to like drag shows?
It was probably after college. I moved to Kansas City, and I was like, well, I have to like still keep trying to do this. So I just started hitting up open shows in Kansas City, and you know that led to like doing a competition, and the competition led to more gigs in the community, and it just kept kind of feeding into itself until here now.
As you mentioned, the open stage nights, a big place where you got started was the open stage nights at Missy B's, hosted by Dick Von Dyke. Shout out him.
Hello.
Which, again, with the overlap between us, me doing drag in the South and the Midwest, like if you want to do more gigs, you really have to like travel to go, find more opportunities. And you, me, and your drag sister, Cynthia Doll, all on television now for drag. We all got started and we're doing drag right around the same time at the exact same open stage nights together.
It was the golden era.
Yeah. I don't think me and you ever like were in the same open stage night at the same time.
So.
I think me and Cynthia might have overlapped though.
Maybe.
Definitely been in the back rooms with her before. But yeah, it's just crazy to think about that little open stage night, shout out Dick again, has helped created stars.
Yeah.
Question mark?
Stars?
Stars? Yeah.
Well, they put us on TV, so
yeah.
I mean, the rest fill in for yourself.
Yeah. But seriously, like shout out Dick Von Dyke and like Missy B's for like having these open stage nights because it did give us like opportunities that we otherwise wouldn't have had, and that was a huge opportunity for me performing outside of my city. It helped you get started in drag, and it did whatever it did for Cynthia.
Yeah.
Enabled, I think, is the word we're looking for.
Enabled. They should have took her off the stage as soon as she got there.
So sometimes you just gotta let kids, touch the hot oven so they know.
Yeah,
they learn.
I'll say stepsister.
Stepsister. Okay. Yeah. So not by blood. We're not.
Not by blood. She's adopted.
Yeah. But like I said, you are drag sisters with Cynthia Doll from Dragula. But from an outside looking in, people probably wouldn't assume that you are a drag family. Like, how did you get involved in drag family with Cynthia Doll? Like, how did that happen?
So, I mean, when I started in the community, like I kind of knew of Cynthia and the rest of my drag family, but like we weren't like super close. But as I did this competition, my drag mom was judging that competition, and then she kind of took me under her wing. I started helping her sew like certain projects, and as I learned more, I kind of started to know some of the other girls like Cynthia and Lana, and we all just kind of became a little bit like of a unit. We all are completely different, especially Cynthia. She is.
What's different about her? What's different?
I think it might be her brain.
Point on the doll what the difference is.
I think it's what's inside here. I think it's there's not much, inside of the brain. But yeah, no, we're all like very different. But I think what makes us a drag family is, not our brand or like our last name. It's just like our goals and how we support each other and, how we love each other. And as sappy as that is, I feel like that's what makes us such a good drag family, and what's like made all of us so successful is because we just really lift each other up and have fierce goals.
Yeah. And like you said, you did like help each other grow, and it's probably with the help of each other that you each got like on a televised drag series. Sure. But with that, is it true that she helped you with your package, but you didn't help her with hers? Can you tell people why that is the case?
Now, Maddie, you trying to give her a moment. You're trying. She's at home right now, like, yeah, get her ass, Maddie. She's like, yeah.
I'm just saying, like she had a couple questionable garments, and I'm like, where was cute?
A couple. Anything that my drag mother didn't make was questionable. So what happened was I went to film, and she got the call to be on Dragula after I left. And then when I got back, 2 days later, she left the film. So I would have loved to steer her away from that rainbow wig that she wore the last episode. I would have loved to help her you know, after she helped me so much, what did she help me with? She did help in some regard. You can't ask her to do things like cutting straight lines or like,
Right.
yeah, her brain. One time I asked her to cut like just strips of fabric, and then she left, and I laid them all out, and I was like, why are these all different? Like that's what type of brain she has.
Yeah. But I mean, going to the show and like with the dance moves that you had, you knew you weren't going to win. So why didn't you just bite the bullet, go home a little sooner so you can help her? You know, it just seems very one-sided of a relationship is all I'm saying. So Cynthia, you are seen, you are valued, and some of us love you.
We would like to unsee it, first of all. We would like to take it off. And f*** you, bitch. I didn't go on Drag Race knowing I could dance. Anything that anybody's been saying online about my dancing, I've gotten since I started drag. From my drag family, from the drag community.
Consistency.
Yeah.
That is what
I knew. You don't think I didn't know? I'm not delusional.
If someone were to call you back for an All-Stars, would you bring back even bigger, better garments, or would you bring back some better dance moves? Like, what would you try to invest in?
I don't know if there's much helping me, to be honest. We'll see. I should take some classes, but I'm like just something about my arm, foot, hands, body, dexterity.
There's a disconnect, yeah.
There's a disconnect between the brain and the movements. So it ends up just being, you know, like when I perform, I just kind of move how I move, you know, and perform how I perform. I'm here, so.
You're here, yeah. So,
well,
you did it. This is a major hit show. I don't know why you keep scoffing at it.
I do need to rethink my choices here.
And just a public service announcement, I'm also aware how I did on Drag Race, which makes this conversation funnier, so don't come for me.
No, please come for her.
Because if you can't read yourself, how in the hell are you going to read somebody else?
No, I think that's so important. Like, I know, I'm a terrible dancer. Terrible.
Was that your biggest fear going to Drag Race? Was like the dance challenges?
No, I mean, I knew that those were going to be hard for me, but I wouldn't say it was like a fear because... Bitch, it wasn't a surprise when I got there. Like, I knew that I couldn't dance. It was more like, you're just gonna have to figure it out and like make it work, make it happen. I mean,
yeah. So whenever you're like in the bottom though with playing, like did you know your time was up at and in there, or did you think that for a moment you had you're like I could win this?
Oh, I mean, I think I won that lip sync. In my opinion, so. If you ask Nymphia also thinks I won the lip sync. But I think
she's also a compulsive liar, as we saw on the show. She is a compulsive.
You're right. She's actually meaner than Plain. I like to call her Plantain Jane.
The banana's rotten.
Right. She's just rotten. She's a nasty, nasty girl. If she ever lets the people see who she truly is on camera, it's going to be over for her career. I'm letting you know that right now. Yeah. It's going to be over for her. But... Wait, what was that question?
It's like whenever you were like finding that lip sync, knowing like what you're capable of, were you just like, my time is here, it's up, or did you really think that like I can take her?
Oh no, I think.
But as you said, like you're like, oh, I won that. So
yeah, no, I thought I won it, but also like, by that point, I could also felt like I could tell how it was panning out, like especially like during critiques, I was like. It doesn't matter what the I'm about to do. They are sending my ass the home. Because you just kind of you do kind of know like
it feels like
you're
the writing's
there,
on the
like
wall.
you can see it in the critiques and what's happening and like yeah, it just I kind of knew, so I was accepting it, but I also performed and.
Yeah, he was like, you never know. I'm going to do this last
like,
number.
I gotta do this, so.
Yeah. Well, you don't have, you can always just walk out.
Right.
Have we ever had a queen that just like walked out and just like didn't do the lip sync? They're just like, no, I'm just going to go. Has that happened?
It's happened on UK. Jenny Lemon did it in the UK, but I don't think.
I know, like, even like back whenever Chanel self-eliminated, she still did the lip sync. And
stuff, I don't think. Yeah, I don't think it's happened like that, no.
Well, it's never too late.
Well, I guess you could. What is it too late for you? All Stars?
Me? Oh, they're gonna bite me back. They're too scared of me.
I'm scared of you.
Why?
The brows.
I don't have brows.
I can see them.
Wow. Okay. Well, so crank up the
contrast.
turn the filter off on her camera, please. Note for the editor.
Maybe I ain't got brows underneath here, so good luck.
I'm more distracted by the line on your forehead, but
That's
anyway.
because my Botox is behind. I always get like creases like right here, and I have to tape my shit back, or else it like really like goes to shit.
Like wiggle your forehead, make it lip sync.
Yeah, no, literally.
Make the line go in and out, like it's lip sync.
Shut the up. Worry about that chest hair.
My chest
mama.
hair. Worry about
my chest hair is shaved.
Worry about your chest in general. Where's your boobies at? That's not drag. You're playing dress up. You're a boy in a girl's outfit right now.
A boy in a girl's outfit?
You're playing in my profession.
In your profession? I wish this wasn't your profession. That's what I wish.
Oh my goodness. They should never let you out of Kansas.
Hello.
You're hateful.
They really should not have.
You're hateful. You're not here to pick on. Cynthia's not here for you to pick on, so you're taking it out on me.
Oh, she's so easy to pick on. You kind of remind me of her.
Why?
Just the no brain.
Oh, okay. Okay. For my passionate 14-year-olds on Twitter, can y'all cancel her, please?
Please, cancel her.
Yeah, cancel with a Q.
Can you cancel her, please?
Cancel. But with your time on Drag Race, though, like, as much as I don't want to give you a compliment right now, like, you did have some of, like, the greatest fashion moments in Drag Race history, like, multiple times throughout the season. And you had some amazing performances, like your talent show and stuff. But obviously, you want to win the show. You want to go all the way.
Right.
So overall, like, on a scale, like, 1 to 10, 1 being upset that you didn't go further and 10 being excited about the impact that you left, like, where do you fall on that?
Oh, gosh, it's hard because I feel 10 and 1 at the same time, you know? Like, getting eliminated, like, at that last moment was devastating.
It's like because you could see the finish line.
Devastating, especially because they did a top 3. So, like, after they eliminated the fifth, after they eliminated Morphine, I was like, baby, we made it.
Top 4, let's go.
4, like, we did it. And then they said, oh, well, another elimination. And I was like, y'all playing in my faces right now. I was pissed. So, I mean, I wish I would have had that moment at the end because, you know, I feel like I could have turned something sickening. But overall, like, I'm very, very happy with what I did and, like, what I showed. And I felt like I stayed very true to, like, who I am and what my drag is. And so I feel good about it.
Yeah. I feel, too, I feel like if you had made it to that finale, the outfit that you would have brought, knowing everything was on the line, like, I can only fathom the absurd lengths that you would have gone to.
There would have been quite the concept. I probably would have. Yeah, the costume probably would have went through the screen into your homes, like through the television, like somehow.
With your time on Drag Race, like with everything that you did bring, is there anything? Did you have any regrets about how you did anything, or what you brought, or what you wish you did?
Regrets on Drag Race. Oh, I mean, definitely. I feel like for Snatch Game, I wish I had trusted my instincts a bit more. I feel like I could have gotten a top spot if I had done what I originally was gonna do and not like listen to other people. I did Amelia Earhart and I was safe, but I really wanted to do Leslie Jordan. And that's when I had like prepared the most, but everybody was like, "Oh my gosh, don't do it! Like, it's been done and it's been done well." So I ended up not doing it, but I really wish I had because I felt like I could have definitely done a lot better.
I actually had an idea as Amelia Earhart for a Snatch Game character before, where it's you do the lip sync, or not lip sync, where you do the Snatch Game, and then halfway through you just like duck under the table and you're just like gone.
Yeah. Well,
and maybe you come back and you have like a couple crabs attached to you or something.
Yeah, I definitely think that it could have been better if it was like more prepared, but it was at the end of the day, I felt like it was just like mid.
Yeah, and like acting and stuff isn't something that's in your wheelhouse, so it's
acting is what?
It's not something that's in your wheelhouse, so it's it's really stacked against you.
What's in my wheelhouse?
Huh?
What was the question?
I said also acting isn't something that's in your wheelhouse. So
what do you mean?
Snatch Game was really stacked against you. You know, you didn't have any. You know, it's a joke because you're a theater kid.
Oh, I am a theater kid. You're right, but you feel like you really have to know for Snatch Game. You really do have to know the characters like inside and out and like who they are. And I don't think I had like developed that enough to do like really, really well with her on Snatch Game. And bitch, Snatch Game is scary.
Snatch Game is scary. I wouldn't
How
know
would you
from
know?
personal experience, but
Yeah,
it looks
right.
scary.
I was like,
I mean, I can attest as someone that was like sent in a tape for Snatch Game. It's like, I feel like that's like the hardest. I think it's the hardest thing for most people sending in a tape is like doing Snatch Game.
well, it's
characters, 'cause
scary, and
weird.
they're asking you to be funny, and the room is dead silent, dead ass silent, and it sucked even more because I was Amelia Earhart, so I was the first to answer every single time because they do it alphabetically on the panel. So everybody else has more time to think about what they're gonna fucking say and volley off of everybody else, but each time I had to answer first. So it like puts you at a little bit of a disadvantage. So when you're picking names, that's where they're gonna put you.
Find a good like XYZ character
right.
to do.
Be last.
Yeah. Like I'm Zoe Deschanel. Like I got it.
Right.
Locked
You
in.
need the last half of the alphabet.
Yeah. Would you say Snatch Game though is like the thing you're most scared about though?
I was definitely scared going into it a little bit just because I felt like for me it could have gone very, very well or gone very, very bad, which is like kind of could be said probably about like everybody.
Yeah.
Because it does happen so fast and so quickly, and you honestly you're never prepared for it until like you actually do it. I feel like going back now knowing what it is, I could do a lot better, but who knows? Maybe I do it again and I suck even more.
You never know. Let's find out. Let's dice again. Let's go crazy. But going on the drag race, making the impact that you did, and now you're enjoying the fruits of your labor. You're out doing gigs and traveling and stuff. Is like just being nightlife performance. Is that like the main thing you want to do, or like what are the goals that you have for yourself in your drag moving forward?
I do love nightlife performance because that's just where that's why my drag grew up. But I definitely want to possibly do something a little bit more conceptual, maybe like a show in the future that tours, or I would really love to put together like some insane, crazy, like avant-garde couture collection runway and put that out and see like what that brings me, because I don't think anybody's done something like to that extent. And I feel like Drag Race is so saturated now, you have to really find something that nobody else is doing.
So like what?
So what? I mean, that's why I don't get this.
Wow. Okay. Because nobody's doing it like I do. Okay. You got a lot of stuff to say.
Well, I thought this was a show where we read each other.
No, it's not. It's a show where you sit there and I insult
and you read me.
Yeah. It's okay. We'll cut out all your reads, so it'll be fine.
Right.
Enough for the editor.
Yeah. That's fine. Just cut them all out.
Yeah. Just trim them out, cut them out. But getting ready for Drag Race, obviously you had like your drag family helping you, but also supporting you was your husband. And you've been married for how many years now?
It's coming up on 3. Coming up on 3 years.
Because he proposed to you in 2020. He was actually at one of your shows, wasn't it?
Yeah. I was in drag. I can't even look at the pictures of me when I looked so bad when he proposed to me. I want to look back at it as a loving moment, but I'm just like, what the was I wearing?
We'll put up a picture of like one of the wide shots out for you.
Okay,
so
blur it out, put it pixelated a bit.
We'll find like one of the pixelated videos and take a still from it.
Thank you.
But how long were you together before you proposed?
Like 6 months.
Oh wow! Shotgun wedding.
Right.
Pregnant.
We were trying.
You're trying.
We tried.
You're trying your damnedest.
We really, really tried.
It was a busy 6 months.
Right.
Yeah.
Just like every night trying to get pregnant, but it just didn't take, I guess.
Yeah. You're barren.
Yeah, my ovaries are dried up. But yeah, it was. His parents got engaged after like 6 months, and that's what kind of how he explained it to me, is like he knew, and his parents have been together for forever. So I mean, like he just saw that as
he was the only other gay person in Emporia, and you're like, well, let's make it happen.
Bitch, he's from Wichita.
Oh, okay. Well, he's the only one in Wichita, so that that's.
I don't know if that's better or worse. Honestly,
it's not good either way.
It's all from Kansas.
It's Kansas. Yeah. What was his reaction whenever you finally got on Drag Race, though? Like, what was it like for him? Because I know, like, it's very stressful for partners, like, because it's like your partner's dreams are about to come true. So, like, what was going through his head?
I mean, I think overall, like, he's just thrilled and excited for me, and like, just felt I don't know, just happy because he knew how bad I've wanted it and how much I've like worked towards the moment. And just like wanting it to happen. So like when I finally told him, he was like thrilled.
But with you and your partner, you're not alone because you actually are in a throuple at the moment.
Yeah.
And I know like polyamory isn't like for everyone, but have been a couple notable Drag Race contestants in the past that have been in poly relationships, some privately, some publicly. I think Derek Barry is one of the more well-known examples. But you and your husband got married, but then it was after that you found your other partner. So like, how did all that like happen? How did the roads lead here?
So it's funny because Daniel, Dylan and I's partner, Daniel and I had like been like regular hookups because my husband and we've always been like open since the beginning of us dating. Like it's always been an open relationship. And so Daniel was like one of my hookups. And then while I was away at filming, Dylan and Daniel like kind of started hanging out and like hooking up, and Daniel didn't know that Dylan was my husband then, but like I think they said like a couple weeks into them hanging out, he was like, he saw I think a picture and was like, oh my God, you're like Robbie's husband. And then it kind of all clicked, and then when I got back, he was just, he was there, and he kind of stayed there, and it's just like a big loving like family, and it's been really, it's different. I've never been in like a polyamorous relationship before, but it's crazy how much just like support and love there is. Like people don't really understand, how it can work, but there's just like a overwhelming amount of like love and support that we all have for each other.
I'm just imagining whenever you got home from Drag Race, you bring your suitcases in the house, and then you're all three there, and it's just like the Spider-Man memes of like all pointing. With your relationship though, like especially with like the craziness of Drag Race in your life, like how do you juggle having multiple partners to like mentally and emotionally like care for, while also dealing with the craziness of just like being on the road and traveling and everything?
Well, I think it's just like important just to still try to make time, whether that is like texting or calling, or when I do go home, I make sure like I go home, I still have a bunch of shit like I have to like get ready for traveling, or still have to be taken care of, but I make sure like I set aside, those moments to like spend with each other, and just like support each other, and check in, and I don't know, so far we haven't had any like really hiccups. Like we have arguments like all couples do. I mean,
occasional black eye, but you wear makeup for a living, so it's fine.
Yeah. They only push me down the stairs every once in a while.
Yeah.
Lock me in my little sewing dungeon. Don't come out till you've made this amount of money.
That's what it is. Like they're actually in a relationship, and you're just the workhorse. You're the.
I wish. I'm still paying off credit cards, so. No, Dylan is like the money maker right now. He's a nurse practitioner, so he got that doctor penny.
Okay. We see you.
He's a smarty pants.
I think whenever people hear about polyamorous relationships, it kind of scares a lot of people. Like a lot of people can't imagine sharing their partner with somebody else. So like, how do you find time to like water everyone's gardens and make sure everyone feels like equally involved and like cared for in a polyamorous relationship?
Well, I just think it's just important, like not to leave anybody out of anything. So it's not like like Dylan and I if we're going to make plans, it's not like we make plans separately from Daniel, or, it's a relationship. So we kind of all do all this stuff together. And when we have arguments, even if it's just like two of us having an argument, we all sit down to like have a check-in and talk about it.
So even if it's just two of you, someone's there to referee.
Yeah, well, no, I don't want to say referee, but like it's just, I mean, it's a relationship just like any other, and we all, are working on it together. So, I mean, it's just really important to like do things together and make sure each partner feels equally loved, and be communicative when they're like maybe feeling like a little left out. Like that's important. Like communication in any relationship, but especially in like a polyamorous relationship, is like very, very important.
Mm-hmm. What are some of the struggles of a polyamorous relationship that people wouldn't realize? Like some of the things you experience that a monogamous couple wouldn't?
I mean, I think just being open about being polyamorous is like one of them. Like because like people don't
the stigma of it.
The stigma, people don't understand it. like, it's so funny because there are people who don't support gay marriage. Then there are people who support gay marriage who still believe in like traditional, like just monogamous like relationships. So it's just like almost feels like just like another thing that we kind of have to like come out about or like, so that can be a struggle because, at least at this moment in time, I don't think we've been like, I've been public about it on socials, but I don't think we've like had like a super open conversation about it with like family. So I'm not sure how that'll go, but
Yeah. But like for people out there that are newly in a polyamorous relationship or interested in one, like what advice would you give to them?
if you're interested in like a polyamorous relationship, just like make sure like your partner, your like original partner and you are like on the same page about like what you want and like what this like partner adds to you guys' life. Like, is it positive or is it negative? And then if it's positive, I mean, I just say go for it because I don't know. Daniel's done nothing but like add like positivity and love and into our lives and just enhanced it. So.
Again, like I don't want to like get too personal, ask you too much about your relationship, but I do think
no.
it is an experience, like you said, that is very stigmatized, and a lot of people are very ignorant about it or don't see it. So I just wanted to talk a little bit, and
No, I love it.
I'm sure there's a lot of people in the audience, especially like in the community, that are curious or are open but not poly or curious.
Yeah. No, I definitely think it's something that's not super in like the public eye yet. Maybe it will be eventually, but right now it's still kind of like a weird thing for people.
Yeah. But with that is the last bit of time we have and the last of my questions. But before you go, I did want to give you something.
Oh God.
But like as we're talking about, like there's been so many people that have been with you along this journey and have like been a part of your life and helped you. And as I said, like everything you've done going like to Drag Race and now making it onto my show, nothing to sneeze about. And I know the people in your life are very proud of you, but I don't want you to take that from my mouth. I want you to take it from theirs. And I wanted to send you something.
No, what is happening?
Hi, Q. It's your dear old friend, Dick Von Dyke. I just came here to say congratulations on making it so far, coming all the way from my show back in Kansas City, all the way to reaching your dreams at Give It To Me Straight with Maddie Morphosis. Love you both. Bye.
Congratulations! We are so proud of you. This is such a big moment, a big deal. We know how hard you've worked your ass off to have a moment like this. So it's just so cool that Maddie is allowing you on their platform. So have your moment and take it.
Girl, you went from being a nobody to somebody, and I'm so proud of you, from one bedroom to another, but this time you're being recorded. I am so happy for you, and enjoy this moment because it's not going to last long.
Yes, congratulations. This is such a huge opportunity for your career because you're getting into this big television show, Give It To Me Straight, hosted by
Maddie Morphosis.
Yeah.
Okay, whatever that name was. Congratulations.
So proud. Kill it. Take home the crown of most viewed guest.
Yes, and reminder, Mulan made your whole entire package for RuPaul's Drag Race.
She got her 7 Sears.
Gen X girl.
Hello.
Hi, babe. It's Mom.
Aww.
I told you that, one day you'd get on RuPaul, and we're really proud of you, but now you're on this YouTube, and we're just, so super excited. I'm so glad I gave you all this talent, and just tell Cynthia and Lana I love them.
Hi, it's Q, and I just want to say congratulations, a major milestone.
I hate you. I hate you
The people-
so much.
I just want to remind you of the people in your life, how proud of you they are, and congrats again for making it onto the show.
You are rotted for that.
All your successes.
That was so sneaky. No, I didn't even clock that. Oh, I hate you. I'm glad that my drag family read me, but they also read you a little bit in true fashion.
Yeah, it's a give and take,
On the YouTube.
On the YouTube, yeah.
Girl.
I think your mom didn't 100% know what she was
She's
sending
like,
you,
yeah,
but
she's like, who?
yeah. But yeah, but in all honesty, I know that people are very proud of you, especially coming from where you come from, like Kansas. It's very hard to get out of Kansas and to make it not only on my show, but on things like Drag Race. So just congrats on all your successes, making the Midwest proud, and
Thank you.
You know, from the open stage nights of Kansas City all the way to
Give It To
RuPaul's
Me
Drag
Straight.
Race and Give It To Me Straight.
It's
of
all
course.
downhill from here. This is my peak. I'm peaking right now.
Yeah. But now that you're at the peak and you're about to go downhill, where can people find you going downhill? Like, what other like gigs or tours do you have coming up? Do you have any projects?
Hopefully, I'm in talks with Utica about maybe doing something fun. Nothing solidified yet. I'll be in Australia for a big tour in May. Yeah, there'll be more to come. I'm still pondering it out though.
Is your handles on all the social medias the same?
So all my social media is living4q with the number 4, except for my Twitter, which is living4q.
Did someone take yours?
I think living4q was already taken.
Oh, damn.
I know, right? If you're out there with that handle on Twitter, delete it.
Yeah, and you guys can find me right here. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe so you don't miss any future guests. And join us next time whenever we have
somebody
else.
Somebody worse.
Probably. Well, the bar is low. But yeah, until then.
Not low enough to see these tennis shoes you got on.
Your own business. But yeah, until then. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Let's go.